A judge granting a temporary restraining order blocking the implementation of New York City's new pied-a-terre tax. So this is a double property tax. The ruling comes after a group of New York City homeowners sued to delay the tax, arguing that the city, quote, arbitrarily and capriciously foisted onto New York City residents the burden of proving that they are not subject to this surcharge.
So staying on the topic of Mamdani's broken socialist policies, the communist is going full throttle on his plan to open 5 taxpayer-funded supermarkets across the Big Apple, icing out small grocers in the process. Now an immigrant-led business coalition is fighting back, planning to sue the city to stop the plan in its tracks.
The move comes as Chicago's grocery experiment hits trouble after that city put $13.5 million into government-run stores. This comes even as 7 of those have already shut down. Joining us now is Small Business Administration Administrator Kelly Loeffler. Administrator, fantastic to see you. I won't go into the just moronacy and idiocy of why these socialists keep trying the same thing over and over that has already failed, even in this country. I mentioned Chicago. I can add into that Sunny Fresh, that market in Kansas City, Missouri, the Baldwin Market in Baldwin, Florida, the Erie Community Grocery Store in Erie, Kansas. But talk about not only did these stores not work, but the damage it does to the smaller community grocery stores and the very reason that New York is being sued as we speak.
Well, Dagan, you're exactly right. Look at the Chicago experiment, which failed really quickly. Within 2 years, they burned through $13.5 million, left residents in that city high and dry where they had crowded out small business investment because they had these government-run grocery stores that failed. Now you move over to New York and you have Mamdani's $70 million experiment. You think about New York, from Brooklyn to the Bronx, 10,000 delis and bodegas that operate every single day. They're serving New York. And now Mamdani comes in and says, I want to give a big retailer $70 million to run this experiment and crowd out these hardworking small businesses. He should be getting sued because he's really taking their business away. But it's no surprise from an administration that wants to punish hard work, that thinks ownership is bad, and that has promised to seize the means of production. I mean, this is Soviet-era stuff.
You know, just to raise it to a bigger issue, Administrator, it does feel like we're in a moment where people are really toying with the idea of having government-owned things compete with the private sector. And that, I think that makes people, free market fans, nervous about that, because the one thing government can always do that a private business can't is simply say to the taxpayer, we'll have your money, or we're going to borrow on your back, and we're going to use it to prop up these failing things. How important is it for fans of free markets right now to say we can't do this, whether you're on the right or the left, you just can't engage in that kind of activity?
Brian, I think all small businesses in America, all 36 million of them, would agree with you. And by the way, they create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in America. There are job creation engines. So if you care about jobs and rising wages, that comes through small businesses in the private sector. And that's what this administration is fighting for every day. Think about the working family tax cuts. I mean, it averted a $5 trillion tax increase and saved hardworking Americans $82 billion. And every single Democrat voted against that because they want big government funding of big government projects that crowd out the private sector, which are our small businesses, our main streets. And we have a Main Street boom going on in America. You think about all-time record business formation. I mean, that's what free enterprise is about. It's about the American dream. It's about that pathway to success. But if you look at the DSA, which is now running the Democrat Party, you can see that they want to seize the means of production, and they're going to do it through big government. And Al-Sayed admitted it today. We've got to have higher taxes to have these government-run programs. It should be pretty terrifying to everyone who believes in free enterprise and the ability to innovate and grow and compete on a fair basis.
Yeah, I'm the daughter of 2 grocery. My parents ran a wholesale grocery store, and it was 7 days a week, never took a vacation, and it was the hardest of hard work. And you can probably hear my mother rolling over in her grave right now, watching, or at least as we look at Mamdani sporting some green bananas. But it speaks to how government does, and their belief was government does nothing to help them. And that has not been the case with small businesses and President Trump and his administration in terms of getting government out of the way. Before we go, Administrator, talk about the rollback in the regulations and how that is already trickling down to small business owners in this country.
Well, you're exactly right, and you have someone like Mamdani who's never even held down a job, let alone a small business. And so these hardworking small business owners know that not only do you get crushed by high taxes, you get crushed by regulations that amount to, thanks to Joe Biden's administration, an extra 355 hours of paperwork, red tape, and bureaucracy every year. So that adds to the cost of paying high taxes that New York City exerts on people. So we're cutting, in this administration, about 1,000 regulations for each new regulation. That's for small business.
Administrator Kelly Loeffler, always good to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank y'all.